Hi guys. In the last video, I thought if I got over 100 views, I would record another video. And as I've got 100 plus views, it's over time that I in fact recorded it. So here we go. Just a brief update on me, might as well. I've been seen by a couple of different people in the STEP team now. They've got a psychologist or psychiatrist, I'm not sure which. Who I'm seeing now, and I've got the sort of straight out counselling person who I'm also seeing. I've had an EEG done on my head, and I'm due to have a CT scan, so it's all fun. In fact, actually, I was meant to have already had the CT scan. It's just I went to the wrong hospital because they, for some deranged reason, decided that they were going to send me to one outside of town. But I've got that rebooked for the one in my town now, so it's a matter of time. Anyway, enough about me, because I don't really want to keep on that much, other than the fact that two notable dates have been recently in my calendar, one of which was SI Awareness Day on March 1st. I'm wondering if anyone else did anything. I don't really want to say what I did because I don't want to blow my own trumpet. But and also my 19th has gone, so that was good. Had a couple of nights after that. Went for a meal with my family, then went raving with my mates, and I got sort of varying items from a bottle of whiskey, very much appreciated, to this. Oh yeah, check out the funky colour scheme. For those of you who don't know what this is, it is an Ibanez Gemini for my guitar. See the attached clip at the end. Anyway, enough on me. I'm going to try and talk in this video about sort of health officials and just sort of mental health people that you might encounter if you decide that you want help, which is often quite a big step to take. So yeah, I started off the whole ball rolling by going to see a GP while I was still at university. Now, GPs can vary depending on the GP. They can either be really understanding, as the one in Leicester was. She was great. She literally did keep me sane and alive. Or they can be like the one in Lincoln, who nearly had a heart attack when she looked at my history on the computer. Or the other one in Lincoln, whose helpful advice was, "Don't cut yourself again." If it was that simple, I would be in the clear. But yeah, hopefully you'll get one that is seriously understanding, as most of the health officials were in Leicester. If this is the case, they'll probably either try and refer you on to a crisis team of some description if you're really kind of in a bad way. My GP did refer me on to them because she thought they might help, and they're used to dealing with people who have SI issues, who have ED issues, who have sort of the works. So you can't say anything that will shock them, no matter how bad. They've seen it all, they've heard it all. So they should be fine. They'll also possibly refer you on to a slightly more long-term thing, because the crisis team is only designed as a sort of short-term measure to make sure you don't do anything you might regret. But the STEP team, as it is in Lincoln, or the peer team as it was over in Leicester, it varies depending on where you are, will be a slightly more long-term thing. They, in my experience, have also been very understanding, because once again they've seen, heard it all, and they're trained to deal with people like myself and many others. So yeah, once again, they won't be much of an issue. But GPs can be quite harsh and quite unhelpful, particularly with such a taboo subject as self-injury. Personally, I haven't had much of a problem because I was referred by the people in Leicester But even if you're not expecting it, they can sometimes stick their oar in where it's not wanted. Hence the guy in Lincoln helpfully giving me instructions on not to cut again. I was only in there to get my appeals topped up. He just looked at my history and gave me the riot act virtually. Wasn't his business. Don't see why he was on it. But something that you should be prepared for is people to be slightly hostile, but don't take it. They don't have any right to be, but point out to them. I don't mean to pick up a chair and throw it at them, but just point out to them that, you know, if it was that simple, you'd be able to cure yourself. And you've made the first notable step by asking for help. It's their job to help you, not to make things worse by criticising you. Yeah. But something else you should be prepared for is all manner of weird and wonderful questions being asked. A couple of the ones that have really stuck with me were the ones like, have you appeared on any magazine covers over the past year? Or, have you flown over the South Pole multiple times last year? Obviously for those with delusions of grandeur. Also, one of the ones that I got asked in Leicester was, has your head or any other body part changed in size or shape recently? No. So possibly the stomach. But anyway, I don't know what that was for, but it might affect some people. Let me know if it does, and you're interested. But yeah, you'll get asked some quite weird and wonderful questions throughout the time if you do go and see health officials and get help. What else? What else is there that I can think of to say? I really should write all this stuff down, because I'm going to do a video with some intentions, and then I just don't remember what it is I'm meant to be saying. It's hot chocolate before you make any comments. But I think that is pretty much it. Talked about abusive doctors, talked about... Oh yeah, for those that have an SI issue, it's quite likely that at some point you will have... I'm not encouraging in any way this, but it's quite likely that a lot of people will end up having to be stitched or stereostripped up. And once again, depending on where you get this done, you can sometimes get it done at your GPs, you can sometimes get it done at the hospital. I've had both done. The time I went to the GPs, they were very understanding. The nurse there was great, stripped me up, and sort of reassuringly told me I wasn't the only one that they'd seen like this. When I went up to the hospital the first time, I got a doctor who, whilst didn't say anything like the one in my GP surgery did, he kind of just said it all with his eyes. His body language and all that was, we're not impressed. Well, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just here because I could do with these being checked over. They were gaping a bit. And the second time, I just had some prop first sergeant woman do my stitches, and she too kind of gave a disapproving look. But you've got to get used to it. Anyway, that's pretty much everything. Other than to reiterate, even though you should sort of be ready for it and be hopefully used to it, well, not used to it, but hopefully you'll never have to encounter it, but be prepared for it. The hostility of the medical practices and professions. But don't sort of just lie down necessarily and take it all if they're being overtly abusive. Anyway, that's kind of like the end of the video, really. Here's the guitar.